What's up, guys? I'm actually going to bring you guys a commentary today. I haven't commentated in a long time, so bear with me if gets a little bit bad. But this is actually a Duel versus one of my friends, Timmy, and he actually just topped second at his nationals in New Zealand, and he actually tops like every single event and wins a lot of events. So he's actually really good, and he actually knows what he's doing, and he taught me a lot how to play in this game and stuff, and he actually gave me one of my first hero decks when I started to play heroes, and this is actually a really tweaked version of the version that he gave me. So yeah, props to Timmy, and we decided to duel since we haven't dueled in a long time, and I've been asking him to duel me, and we decided to make it rated just to make it more interesting. And he's using Chaos Dragon as the deck that he actually talked with. I'll leave a link down below to his deck list, and I'll go into more later in the match or whatever. But he goes to charge and he mills a Lila, a Soul Taker, and I believe like I believe a Solar Recharge, yeah. And then so he's gonna summon Lila. I had a warning in MSC set. I was debating whether I would want a warning that, and I was just like, nah, I'll just let it fly because either way he's gonna be in defense and he can't get over my thing. And then he gets with the Monster Reborn. I'm like, alright, he really wants my back row gone. I set a MST just for the Future Fusion. I was like, he's probably going to play Future Fusion now, and I'm probably going to be in a really big predicament. Most likely OTK'd this turn. But then he actually overlays, and I was just like, he must not have that great of a hand at this moment, or he just doesn't want to overextend or something. I don't really know what he had in his hand at the moment, so I was just thinking that he didn't have much in his hand. So I kind of went with that, and I actually had a Neos and I believe I had a bottomless. I had something, and then I had I believe it was a Spark. I think it was a Spark, and then I had a Compulse on the right. So he's just gonna draw and then pass, and then I'm just waiting to use my Compulse until I get another card to back up my play after. So I'm kind of waiting until I draw into something, like I said, to back up my play, and I don't want to attack into a Gores and get fucked. So that's why I'm waiting until I can draw something decently good, if anything. So I'm just going to pass, and then he's going to draw one more time, and then he's going to pass again, I believe. And then I draw into another Compulse, but I believe I had some other cards to back up a Gores play. I think I had a Miracle Fusion. So I decided to Compulse this turn and then attack. I didn't really care about the Gores anymore. So, so far he has 2 Lilas engraved, nothing else. I believe the rest are spell cards, so I wasn't really that worried about him summoning like a Chaos Monster or something. So I'm just going to set another card and pass because I'm really scared about the heavy, and Timmy always gets the heavy versus me, so I'm always wary of that. So I'm playing a little bit more cautiously in this, especially since it's Chaos Dragon. I can get fucked easily. So he goes for Card Trooper, and he actually mills that Dark this time, and he mills his Future Fusion. So I know he doesn't have some Future Fusion. I know he has a Dark now. And right here I was debating if he attacks me, we both die and he draws one. So I decided to just go for the Spark. So then we both plus, and you know, it wouldn't be so much as a disadvantage to me. So right here he draws into 7 cards. So he has to. Oh yeah, never mind. He goes for a lure, and then he's going to banish a card, and then he has 7 cards again. So he can't normal again, so I don't know. I doubt he would want to go for the Chaos play since I do have 1 set card. So he's going to banish his Dark Arm, and then he's going to set a card. And him setting that card, just because I've seen his deck list, and I didn't really memorize too much about it, but I know he doesn't run 3 MSTs. So I knew it was a Heavy Storm, just that I had that good feeling it was a Heavy Storm. So I set a Hero Blast, trying to bait his Heavy Storm, to use his Heavy Storm so I can start setting my cards and getting an advantage. And it was just my Compulse. So my Compulse wouldn't have done too much. He could summon a Chaos Monster, but he actually didn't, so I believe he didn't have a Chaos Monster, or he just probably wasn't paying attention that he had Dark Engrave. I don't know. I know he knows he has a Dark Engrave, but I just, you know. But now I keep on checking his grave during the duel because I'm very wary of what he has in his grave, and I'm very wary that I don't want him to, you know, go crazy and me misplaying or something. So now I'm just gonna kill off his Liquid Wyvern. I know he runs Honest, like I said, so I know he probably just wants that in his grave, and he's not gonna waste his Honest early. So I'm just waiting on that Honest play. I'm gonna be very wary of that too. So now that his Heavy's gone, I start setting all my cards. He can't really do anything about it. And excuse me. I was thinking about what I should set and what I should keep in my hand just in case of certain situations. And I don't want to set everything just, so my hand is just, I'm just kind of resorting to top decking. So I go for the torrential. I know it's going to send another dark to his grave, but I don't want a bottomless a chaos sorcerer, because then that's just a waste for light pulsar. And I kind of want to get him to think that I don't have the bottomless at this moment. And me, even though I lose a monster, he would have banished it anyways. I'd rather have it engrave for Hero Blast / Miracle Fusion. And he actually goes for that light pulsar play right now, and I actually bottomless it. Like I said, I was saving it for that, and it was gone now. So he has no darks engrave. One of his light pulsars is banished now, so that's pretty good for me. And I believe I draw into Hero Blast or like Miracle Fusion. And I knew he had a Gores at this point. Like I had these gut feelings that he had a Gores, and I didn't really care at the moment because I had a Dark Hole in my hand and I drew into a Miracle. So I was just like, you know what, I can plus off that, so it's not really a big of a deal. And I protection for his Chaos play, so I'm not really in the worst situation. And he's at 26 life points right now. Keep in mind that life point thing. So I'm gonna go for the Dark Hole now. I'm gonna get my monsters back. I believe I summoned my Neos just because I wanted to think that I had a Gemini Spark, and then I wanted to be in the best situation as possible. And I didn't want him to go for a certain play just because I had a Stratos out and he didn't have to worry about it. So I believe I actually do have a Gem Spark. I don't think I did. If I recorded this, it would have been differently because you would have seen my hand. But then I wasn't on my mom's computer, so it wouldn't have been the greatest recording because it would have been super laggy. But he's gonna attack me with the Light Pulsar. I let that go through because I didn't really have anything for it. I have a Skill Drain, and I believe I have another. I think I have a Starlight Road, which is a dead card. Yeah, the middle card is a Starlight Road, and then to the right is Skill Drain. So since I have Skill Drain, I know he set his Raikou, so I'm going to normal summon my Shadows, and I'm going to get my effect, and then I'm going to flip Skill Drain and attack his Raikou so he doesn't have anything for later. And that's the play for this. And props to Chimpact for recording this match, and I'll leave his link to his Yu-Gi-Oh channel down below. And his Pokemon channel if you guys want to check that out. If you haven't already checked it out, I highly advise you check out his Yu-Gi-Oh channel because he uploads a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, Dueling Network stuff, and yeah. So like I said, the Raikou was pretty obvious, so I'm not gonna really go further on that. Since both of his Wyverns are in the graves, and I know he doesn't run 3 because 3 is not that great because you'll be continuously drawing into them. But nevertheless, he has a Light Pulsar. I believe he goes for sack Light Pulsar, go Light Pulsar, summon Light Pulsar from grave just to get some darks into his grave. And he has a Darkness Metal, so he's gonna get his Darkness Metal into his grave. So in case his Light Pulsar is gone, then he can, get his Red Eyes Metal. And at this point, I had a set Starlight, I had an Honest in my hand, and I had a Neos Alias in my hand. So right now, I'm like, I have Honest, but I need to get into a situation where I can get game. And I actually draw into a Miracle, and I was just like, well, that's game because now I have Honest, and his Honest is right there. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go into Shining and then attack him, and then wait for him to, and then set my Alias to think that I'm trying to defend my life points, and wait for him to attack me, and then Honest him for game, just for trolling. And that Miracle draw was actually very clutch, but I run 3 for a reason, so yeah. And heroes actually have a horrible matchup against dragons just because like they're such big beaters. The only thing that can handle them well is Shining without Skill Drain, but Skill Drain really annoys the deck completely because Lila and Raikou can't really do anything at all. They're just dead cards and they can't mill or anything, so I'd rather have the Skill Drain than a 3200 beater on, or why do I keep on saying Honest? Shining. So that's kind of my logic, and I run Honest for a reason. That's why I have Honest. I run Honest for Neos and Shining plays with the Skill Drain, so it's not it worked out in the favor for me. I had an Honest, I had Miracle when I needed it, so I'm not really complaining. I had a perfect hand for dragons basically, and that was a great game because it went back and forth. I held up my own against dragons. I actually won since it was a really bad matchup for me. And more in the siding process, I sided out my heavy because I know I'm gonna start setting a bunch of cards, and I don't want to draw into heavy and use it when I need to, and I have all my set cards. So I took out a heavy for a third MST, since that'll be way more useful than a heavy. And then I kept my only super poly in the deck, and then I sided out my Veiler for a Dimensional Prison, and I sided out a Warning for a Dimensional Prison. I believe that's the only thing I sided. I was debating whether to side in Shadow Imprisoning and take out Skill Drain, but Skill Drain is so good against the Raikou and Lilo, so I was just like, you know, I'm going to keep it in. And then I was debating on taking out my Hero Blast, but I was like, Hero Blast is always useful because it can get your Neoses to hand. If I don't have Skill Drain, then it can destroy Lila, and he wouldn't be able to target any of my other back row besides, you know, the Hero Blast, since Hero Blast destroys Lila. So that's very good. And I guess people don't really realize that sometimes, because sometimes they're like, why do you keep Hero Blast in against Chaos Dragons game 2, game 3? It's because of the Lila. The Lila is, you know, it can destroy your back row, the back row that you need for the Dragon match. So yeah, that's just my reasoning. People have their own opinions, but it actually opens up to Future Fusion. My hand wasn't that bad. It was like Pot of Duality, MST, Dimensional Prison, Bottomless, and like Skill Drain, something like that. Or I believe I had Gem Spark instead of something else. I believe one of the two. And then I think I had Book of Moon also. I'm not. It was one of the. I think I drew into Dimensional Prison later. But he goes into that. I wasn't really complaining. Chimpacts narration, I will link in the description below. He actually thought it was game over, but I believe I had a solid matchup so far, especially since we went for charge, milled his card destruction and his Rare Decree. That's one card down and a card destruction I don't have to deal with later on, so that's actually very good. I potted Duality and I go into it E-Call, so I was just like, alright, thank God I have a monster now, because if I didn't have a monster, then I would just be, you know, taking pointless damage, and then I want to be able to get pluses. But I do have the back row good enough for this, especially with the monster. It's going to help me out a lot. So I'm going to go for the strategy play. I know he sided out his Veilers for most likely MSTs, and then sided out some other things for Decrees, as I saw in there. And he sided out certain things for his card destruction and whatnot. I believe he mains card destruction, I'm not sure. I go for Stratos, get my Neos, and then I have my Skill Drain and my MST. So I'm going to set my Skill Drain, and then I'm going to set my MST, and then I believe I just let it, I just end my turn and pass. So in the case he wants a Heavy Storm or something, well actually no, my bad. I would have set more, but I didn't want to set more in case he wanted to just blow his mirror Future Fusion and go for a Heavy Storm. And I like, for some reason, like, I didn't think he had a Heavy Storm, but like there was like a 10% chance in the back of my mind that he had a Heavy Storm. But later, after a couple turns, I actually just like, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna set my back row. The way he's playing right now, he has kind of a lot of back row. As you'll see, he's gonna start setting things, and then I'm just gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna let this fly. I'm just gonna keep my back row, and I don't think he'll heavy just because he has the Future Fusion up. He has some set cards that he sided into, so I'm just, you know, I'm in a pretty decent situation. So I'm gonna flip with the Skill Drain. Since I didn't attack, I had the Skill Drain, so his Raikous and Lilas are dead unless he gets an MST. And I have a Bottomless set, I believe, but I don't want to Bottomless the Dark Flesh since I do have Skill Drain up. The Dark Flesh can't really do anything, and I have answers to it in my hand. I always want to save the Bottomlesses for either BLS, Red Eyes, or like Pulsar. So I had MST in my hand, so I actually didn't set it. My bad. I kept it in my hand since Future Fusion had to wait 2 turns. So I MST that Bottomless. I didn't want to MST the Future Fusion because I didn't need to. I had some answers to it in my hand. I was debating right here whether I should just go for the Book of Moon and attack that, or just wait and see what he's gonna do. But then I just decided to just, you know, attack it, Book of Moon, get rid of his monsters as soon as possible, put more pressure on him, and then set on my cards because he's gonna get the 5-headed dragon out. His Future Fusion is gonna be on the field. I highly doubt he would want the Heavy Storm since he did side into more back row type of cards. Just because he is playing heroes, I doubt he would want to Heavy Storm. So I just had that feeling, you know. And then I actually say right here in the chat, I was just like, YOLO. So he's gonna bring out 5-headed now, and he has some darks. He has a lot of darks and lights in his grave. So if at any point he can go for chaos monsters, but Looking at his grade, he doesn't really have that much chaos monsters or anything, but he actually goes for Dark Hole, and I do have Gen Spark, so I'm going to Gen Spark that, so I can just get a +1, even if my Neos is going to die anyway, so might as well just go for the Gen Spark. It's not a bad play, and my computer just screensavered me. But yeah, I'm gonna set. I draw into another card. Set to. I believe I have a bottomless. I believe I have 2 bottomless. I'm not sure. I think I have a bottomless compul. No, I have a I have a judgment and a bottomless or something. But he goes with solo recharge right here, and then I know that he had 3 cards, so he solo recharge, wasted 1 card, and then discarded 1 card. So I was like, no, I want to judgment that. So I didn't think I would need to judgment anything else. So I judgment that, and he went like he didn't give me a response. So I was just like, wait, I wanted to solemn that. So he put his cards back, and I saw him that even though I am at a huge life point disadvantage, he has no cards in his hand, and I have answers to his cards that he might want to bring out. I draw into a Neos Alias right now, but that card is definitely bottomless to me. It's no doubt about it, a bottomless. If it was something else, he would have flipped it already and used it. So I knew it was a bottomless, and he said if you wanted to shuffle, and I was like, nah. I saw the Soul Taker and the Eclipse Wyvern, so I was just like, you know, I want him to keep those in his hand, and since they're not that great to him at this moment, and either way, if he wouldn't have shuffled in the first place, he wouldn't have been able to draw those cards and see them, so it wasn't a big deal to me. Either way, he didn't need to shuffle. Shuffling was not it would basically be cheating because he saw the cards when he wasn't supposed to, and then he shuffled his deck. So that, yeah, but I draw in Neos, and then I draw into another card. It was a back row card. I believe it was either bottomless or something else, or like compulse. It was something back row, and he said another card, and I draw into Gen Spark, what I was waiting for, something for protection for my Neos. So I finally saw my Neos in Gem Spark his set Royal Decree, and that was good right there because his 2 Royal Decrees are out. He only runs 2, so now he's gonna summon his Light Pulsar from the grave. That can be debatable since he does have BLS in hand. He could have summoned the BLS, but either way, he wouldn't have been able to summon his Light Pulsar from his hand anymore, and his BLS would have been gone anyways if he summoned it and I bottomless it. So either way, it was a lose-lose situation. If you think about it, so it wasn't that bad of a misplay if you think about it. But I think I have a set Dimensional Prison. No, I have a bottomless, and he's Soul Taker me. I'm not complaining about that because I gain life points. He has to waste a card just to get rid of my card, so I'm not in a bad situation. I know he has a Wyvern now, and I'm just setting all my cards because I can. He doesn't. I drew into my Starlight already. It's the card to the right of Skills Drain, so I'm not worried about Heavy Storm anymore. So I'm gonna Hero Blast, and then so I'll be able to use my Pod Duality. And I get 3 good cards. I get Torrential. I didn't want to get Torrential because I didn't want to waste my monster card, and I already have back row for his cards that he's gonna summon. So I decided to get Dimensional Prison in case later on in the duel that or I don't want to waste a bottomless or a warning or anything. I don't think I drew into warning this entire game because I only kept 1 in for Dimensional Prison and took 1 out for Dimensional Prison. So I decided to take Dimensional Prison. I didn't set it yet because I didn't want to draw into something and not be able to use it when I had all this back row down, and I won't be able to flip my back row. So I decided to wait and use Monster Reborn, and I believe he goes into Light Pulsar. So I was just like, alright, perfect, now I can use my second bottomless to get that out of the way. And now, basically, all of his Light Pulsars are gone. He only has 1 left, and I believe it's in his deck. So I'm not in a bad situation. Now I top deck into a Neos Alias and, in a Rhoda. So I can just, you know, attack him now and get more pressure on him. And my plan right now is I know he has a Wyvern, and I know he has like 1 more Dark Flare in his deck or something, or possibly in his hand. So he actually takes a little bit of time here. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was AFK or something, but hold on. I want to get some water. 20-minute like commentary. But I had a Dimensional Prison. I had Skill Drain up, so I didn't want him to go into like a Light Pulsar or a Dark Flare and attack over me. So after attacking with this, I decided to overlay into a Gem Knight Pearl. Since it doesn't have an effect and it has a high attack, it will just be a big beater. So it wasn't a bad play. And I had set Starlit Road in case he wanted to go for Heavy Storm. I mean, I was in the best situation possible. I had the best protection. I believe he already wasted his Dark Hole and his Soul Taker. So at this point, I'm at a big advantage, even though the life points are going to be the same at this moment now. And I look at his graveyard. His Darkness Metal is in his grave, and one is banished. And so I was like, and then he said there's no targets for Wyvern. So I was like, so Dad's in his hand, I believe. So then since he said no targets, I was like, show your deck, since that's what you need to do. And then he actually ends up, I guess he thought he milled the Dad or something, and then it was actually in his deck. So yeah, that's what's happening right now. And you can't see it from this point of view because you guys are looking at the watcher's point of view. But yeah, that's pretty much the game because he draws into heavy, and I don't know what he has in his hand. But I go in the Gem Knight Pearl, and then he heavies into my Starlit Road, and then he just, you know, forfeits at that point. But yeah, those are some great matches, Timmy. You know, props to you for making second in Nats and stuff as usual. That Chaos Dragons deck is good. I just drew into every answer needed and stuff. And yeah, that was a great duel or match. What, it's not a duel. But yeah, props to Chimpact for uploading and stuff. My dogs are barking. Oh my god, my dogs are barking like crazy. Anyways, yeah, if you guys want, I can make a deck list of this deck. I'm actually willing to make a deck list now since I've been keeping this deck for a long time to myself. So just like the video, comment down below if there's any plays or anything that or questionable and that you want to ask, then just, you know, comment down below and I'll reply. And I'll leave links down to the original video of this where Chimpact commentated over it live. It was pretty funny. But yeah, check out Chimp's Yu-Gi-Oh channel, check out his Pokemon channel. And if you guys want to see more DN stuff, then tell me, I can do that. I can stream DM, whatever. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Great game, Timmy. Timmy actually always like beats me. I only have like a few wins over him. He has like a ton over me. He actually taught me a lot how to play. Like I usually, like when I first like started dueling more, I played Timmy. He taught me a lot of things. Like I used to set all my cards and stuff, and he would always heavy into him like no other. So I played more preservedly. I played more smart this game. If you saw. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'll leave a link down to Timmy's deck list, and if you want, like I said, if you want to see my deck list, then comment down below, like, and all that shit. Yeah, peace.